Welcome to the Personal Trainer Hustle. Personal Trainer Hustle. If you didn't know, you do now.
All right, if it sounds a little bit different today, it's because I am actually at the studio today. So I'm actually at Logic, our personal training gym, my personal training gym. So if it sounds a little bit different, that is why. I had to come in on the weekend to take care of a session. I figured let's bring the stuff and get a podcast episode done while I'm at the studio. So it looks a little bit different. It maybe sounds a little bit different, but that's why we're actually at the gym today. Before I forget, we've already gotten a few of you guys following. Some people sent some messages. I got back to you guys. Just started an actual Instagram account for the podcast. Okay. So it's just called Personal Trainer Hustle, at Personal Trainer Hustle. You guys, for the few people that are starting to follow, feel free to send a message. I will get back to the first few people to follow. So make sure you guys go to Personal Trainer Hustle on Instagram. Follow me. That is me on IG. All right. So it's been fun, kind of leaving some comments, getting some comments, sending some messages. So I'm only doing this while we get the first few people that are starting to follow the page. All right. So I've been doing the podcast for over a year now. And I don't know, I never really cared to do much else other than sit here and talk with you guys. But I figured that would be a great way to connect, to build out the podcast and the educational platform a little bit more, and we can help more people. So I figured that would be a great thing. And also for people to just kind of get more, connected to the day-to-day life, right? Day-to-day things that I'm doing, right? Like today, right? You guys for those of you guys that are on the video on YouTube, I'm actually in the gym versus at home where I usually sit down and record. So there's just going to be more depth to it. So make sure you follow the IG account. I'm going to tag it in the description of the episode. So you can just literally click, open up your podcast app, and in the episode you should see at Personal Trainer Hustle. You can click on it. It's going to take you straight to the IG, and you can just hit follow, send me a message, anything like that. I haven't posted much. It's all brand new, but as of now, make sure you go and follow that as well. Today, I don't know if I said this already, but today is a Q&A episode. Today's episode, you guys, somebody sent in a question, and today's episode is going to be about putting that answer out there, right? Getting back to you through this episode about your question. So for those of you guys that maybe have not sent a question in, but a question comes up, this is a great way to get your question answered. Go to personaltrainerhustle.com, and there's a little box there where you can put your question and type it in. I get it. And then eventually we make an episode directly for your question. Okay. So that's what today's episode is about. And today's episode is about the consultation that I talk about a lot, but today's question is asking me to define it a little bit. So let's read today's question. So this question is from Ben Arnold. So shout out Ben. Ben says, "Hi, Sam. My question is, when you say consultation, what do you mean by that? Do you mean going through a sheet of paper with questions about them and their details about them? Or you mean talk them through the gym and just say why you should be their trainer?" Okay. So this is a good question. We're going to define, right? I've talked about it on and off throughout the entirety of the podcast's existence. But today we're going to dive a little bit deeper into defining what that consultation is, because Ben is right. I do say consultation a lot, and I don't always stop and define exactly what I mean. Now, I know most of you guys, just like Ben, kind of have an idea of what that means, right? It's like you're meeting them for the first time, you're going to talk to them, and you want the outcome to be that they sign up for coaching, right? So we have a general idea of what it is, but I think today, hopefully I can do a good enough job as to describe what I mean by the consultation. And we're just going to go a little bit deeper. Hopefully I can give you some powerful questions that you can add to your consultation, and really what it means. Okay. So yes, I do say consultation, and we at my gym, we call it a consultation as well. Okay. Now, when I say consultation, really it's about that first meeting. Different gyms. So the first thing we need to know is that different gyms call this meeting different things. Okay. For some people, they call it like a first workout, a trial workout. Some gyms have even like different terms for it, right? They call it the, like, I don't know, um, pro fit session, or they call it, first time fitters or whatever, right? Like, of course, gyms try to make it sound like a fun thing, right? It's a first, an introduction to the gym. But what I want everyone to understand and realize is that what you call this is not as important as understanding what it is, okay? And what it is every coach has the first time that they meet a potential customer. Okay. Every gym has it, every business has it, right? Every service has that initial meeting. And in fitness, we tend to either have free trials, or we maybe some gyms have like a paid trial, right? Especially when you're busier. I know last year when I was going to my Muay Thai classes, you paid for your first consultation session. It was kind of an assessment that they did just to kind of feel you out and see where you would be placed in the class. For that gym, it was paid, right? So it was definitely less than a membership, less than a session, but it was a way for them to, make sure that you were serious. And that's a different way of doing it. But and that's perfectly fine, especially when you're already busy, right? Sometimes, unfortunately, I think a lot of trainers think that they can already do that, right? Like, oh, you have to pay to show me that you're serious in order for me to take you through a consultation, an assessment, whatever. But the reality is, when you're new, you don't have the upper hand in this situation, right? You're the one that wants clients. You should be taking as many people as you can possibly take until you build enough of a client base that, yeah, maybe you have a waiting list, maybe you have to charge for them to talk to you, but you have to really be in a place to do that. So when I say consultation, that's all I mean. I mean that first meeting that you have with someone. Now, to answer your question, what is this? Well, it's a little bit of both of the things that you mentioned. Okay, it is a list of questions to ask them to get to know them. That is part of it. Okay. And every person should develop a list of questions to ask that individual, not just the PAR-Q. Okay. Because a lot of you guys, when you go through the system of getting certified as a trainer, you know to use the PAR-Q, you know to use the health history. Okay. And that's good. But you have to realize that when you're talking to an individual, you're talking to a real person, right? And a lot of the things that we learn through those questions that we get through our certification, those questions are just technical questions. They are just data about the individual that is important to know. Okay, so you don't want to get away from that. But when I say consultation, I don't just mean asking them about their family's heart health history, about their medication, and things like that, because that's just technical, right? That is, at that point, some people can just type that into an app now and get that information. So though it's important, and this is one of the big reasons that the podcast exists, is the podcast for me, the Personal Trainer Hustle, is about getting you guys to see the entire picture. The certification, for the most part, not all of them, I haven't taken all the certs, but from what I've seen, from the many people that I've hired over the years, the many interviews that I've done with new trainers over the years, what I've realized is when you go through the system of getting certified, they teach you the technical aspects and the physical aspects of things, right? They teach you what a squat should look like, and how many reps to do, and how to progress, and the heart rate that people should have, and the rest time, which is all very important. But this is what I want to get out of the podcast, and this is what I want you to understand about the consultation. There is an individual with personal goals, personal issues, personal concerns, personal desires, personal fears, personal situations, personal experiences. And the consultation should also have an element that asks them questions about who they are, why they're here, why this is important to them, how I can better assist them. So when I say a consultation, and when I say, yes, you have to have a list of questions, the questions cannot just be technical, physical questions. And that's the difference that I'm trying to make with the podcast. And again, why I started the Instagram, why I want to develop more things for you guys, right? Beyond the podcast, because there's only so much I can share with you guys on a podcast where I'm just kind of live and going for it. Sometimes I forget to mention things. Sometimes I'm not as specific in certain areas. So I'm trying my best through this free platform to give you information. But I just want you to realize that that's what the personal trainer hustle is about, is to answer questions like this. So to answer your question, yes, it's a series of questions that you need to prepare. But the other part is also that it's also you trying to get them to purchase your training session. It's both. It's a set of questions. Yes. To get to know them. Yes. But what's the reason for these questions? What's the reason why we get to know them? Because in getting to know them, the end result should be that they make a choice to join your gym or to train with you, right? And I'm going to keep it specific to training, even though you said, take them through the gym and say why why you should be their trainer. Okay, so there's another great point to be made here right in your question. The question says, um, do you mean talk them through the gym and just say why you should be their trainer? Okay, so that is definitely something I don't mean. I remember this rule. Selling someone is not telling them anything, okay? Telling is not selling. And so this is a great part of the question, and this is a great point to make right now. So again, right, review. Yes, it's a series of questions, but it's not just the physical, it's also the personal, emotional, personalized, individualized questions to get to know them. And the reason for this is because this is a huge mistake that trainers make when they're trying to get someone to sign up for training. We make the mistake that we want to convince people as to why they should train with us, right? We start telling them all the benefits of training. We start telling them all the discounts that we have. We start telling them that this is a one-time offer. We start telling them that they can't do it on their own. We start telling them that they're using the wrong technique, right? We do a lot of telling. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, as an experienced trainer, salesperson, business person, in all the years, the worst thing you can do to anybody is to tell them what to do, tell them why they should do it. Okay. Very, very few people need that nudge. Now, in sales, there is an aspect of learning when to tell somebody, right? When to kind of push them a little bit because they're a little undecided at the end. But today we can't get into that. That's more technical. What I need you guys to understand is if you try to tell them, you don't know if you're telling them the right reasons or the wrong reasons. So I will say that when I say take them through a consultation, I don't mean tell them why they should sign up. Okay. So what I mean is have a series of powerful questions that later, if you ask them correctly, if you go through this process correctly, what will happen is they will come to the realization as to why this should happen, why I should get a trainer, why this gym is the gym for me. The only way to do that is to get people to realize the importance of this through powerful questions, through powerful answers to those questions, through clear communication, right? So this is, to me, when I say consultation, this is what I mean. I mean, we're going to sit down with someone who's new, who might or might not be fully interested in training, and I'm going to figure out how I can help them. And if I can figure out how I can help them, then I've got it, because now they're going to see the value in the training because it's going to make sense to them. Now that sounds well and good, right? People are like, of course, yes, I'm helping them. I'm here to help them. I'm trying to figure out. But the reality is the only way to truly know how to help someone is to have questions that guide this person to realize why they need a coach. And also they help you as to how to help them, right? So one of the big things here that I wrote down, there's so many random notes here, but this is what I ask every trainer that starts at my gym when I'm teaching them how to do a consultation. Okay. So I'm going to try my best to kind of take you guys through a conversation I would have with one of my new trainers and how I explain it to them and how I get them to understand it. So the first thing I would ask you is, when you meet with someone and it's the first time you're meeting them, and again, right, whatever you're calling this first meeting doesn't really matter. What matters is what you do and that you understand the purpose of this meeting, right? What is the purpose of this meeting? Is to get to know them. So, and to show them the value of the training, right? So that they make a purchase. But it all starts in this very first meeting. So when the very first time you meet someone, what you need to understand is that they have a problem. Okay. That's why they are here. whether they're joining a CrossFit gym, a yoga gym, a boot camp gym, a local boot camp, a personal trainer, a local gym with a membership, whatever it is that they showed up for, they didn't show up because they just decided to stop by, okay? Because they have other things in their life that they're worried about that they need to focus on. So why did they stop by the gym? Why did they show up to the consultation, right? Like, let's say that somebody said, oh, you have a free trial session with this coach, right? Let's say Ben, who sent in the question, hey, Ben, somebody came in, got a membership yesterday, and they set up their first trial personal training session with you, right? So they want to try a training session with you. So now, if this person shows up, that means that they are open, at least 1%, they are open to the possibility of getting help from you. And a lot of trainers don't take this seriously enough, right? The moment that you see this person show up, there is a real person standing in front of you who's saying, yeah, I'm here for my trial workout. The moment they show up, they've given you a window of opportunity. Now they may be 90% closed on needing a trainer. They may be 10% closed on needing a trainer. What you need to do is guide them through a first meeting, a first workout, a consultation, an assessment, even though the assessment and the consultation are different things. And it should be self-explanatory, but we'll see if we can get back into it. But this first meeting, because that's what's important about understanding today's topic, is this first meeting is them giving you an opportunity to show them what you've got. And this is the mistake. This is why I wanted to give this example. This is the mistake trainers make. They go, oh, they're here to try training. Let me show them training. And so what do? We say, what's your goal? Okay, what's your health history? Great. Okay, let's go through a workout. So this one is for shoulders, da, 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 da. Okay, we're going to give me 3 more. High five. You see, you had more in you, right? You had more in you. So training with me, I would push you a little bit more so you get results, right? Like this is what the trainer does for you. We motivate you, da, da, da. And again, you fell back into telling them, right? And you're trying to sell yourself as a trainer. Here's my definition. This is my system. And going back to what I was saying before I was trying to make this point. What I would ask you when you first meet this person is I would go, hey, personal trainer, right? In this case, Ben sent in the question. Ben, how do you know what you should do with them? That's what I would ask you. That's what I ask my trainers. I go, okay, so you have somebody come in. They're here to try training. Okay, how do you know what to do? Why did you choose squats first? Why did you choose 12 reps? Why are you taking them through kettlebell work? Why are you doing core work? Okay, so you chose exercises, fine. Why did you do that? Well, because they're here to try training. But does that solve their problem? Right? You're jumping ahead thinking that people want to buy an exercise routine. What they want to buy is a solution to their problems. Okay, so I just literally did an episode before doing this question. The previous episode was about this, but finding the solution to their problem, right? And so how do you know what their problem is? You can't just go, well, their problem is they want to lose 20 pounds, and the only way to do that is to work out hard. You're missing the depth that I'm trying to get you guys to understand when I say that you need to take them through a consultation, when I say that you have to have a series of questions, when I say you do the assessment, whatever it is. What you have to realize is all of this is for you before you work out in order to choose the right workout, in order for you to choose the right intensity, in order for you to know what to avoid, in order for you to know what to say. All of these things, right? You need to know what to say. You need to know what to do. You need to know what not to do. You need to know when to pull back and when to push. All of these things, the only way you can know them is if you know who you're working with. And that's what this first meeting is about. Before we get to the exercises, you as a coach, you have to know who you are working with, not just the physical, right? Because I can look at a chart and it says, okay, no heart health history, no this, no medication, sleeps. Okay. But if I don't know if this person has anxiety in the gym, if I don't know that this person sleeps 4 hours a night, if I don't know that this person eats McDonald's every day, if I don't know that this person has an injury or a surgery, right? If I don't know that this person wants to lose weight for their kids versus the other one wants to lose weight to run a marathon, right? If I don't have information on this individual, how can I know what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say, how hard to push, how slow to go? If I don't have the proper information, then sure, I could take them through a workout, but the workout is hit or miss. I don't know if the workout that I'm taking them through is the right exercise routine for them. And also, I don't know what to say. If I am in the middle of a session, I may be saying, yeah, I'm going to push you. I'm going to push you. But maybe if you would have gotten to know that person, they would have told you, well, actually, I want a trainer that doesn't push me right away because I'm scared that I'm going to be sore. I'm scared that I'm going to get hurt. My last trainer pushed me too hard, right? A few episodes ago, I did an episode about, I don't remember what it was, but I know that I had signed up two people. Those of you guys that follow the podcast, you'll remember I had signed up two different people that same weekend, right? But I told the story of one woman, and I'll repeat it here again. The woman had gone through a training session with another trainer at a different gym. She was looking for a trainer. Okay. So that if you guys hear that, you would say, oh, perfect, man. Give me that lead. I'll close it. I'm their trainer. I'm the best trainer. I got it. Right. That's our mentality when you hear, oh, she's looking for a trainer. But this is what happened. She went to a trainer. She said, I'm 70 years old. I want to learn how to use some of the equipment, I blah, 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 blah. And the trainer did what most trainers do. They kicked her ass. They took her through a very intense workout to lose weight, to get strong. She said she was sore for a whole week. She never went back to that gym again. Not for her membership, not for training, not for anything. She never went back. When she came here, I asked her a lot of questions. How do you feel about training? How do you feel about the intensity? What are your fears? What are you concerned about? How hard have you worked? How sore have you been? Just questions, right? Getting to know her. And then she said, well, this is what happened, right? They went too hard. I don't want that. I have work to do. I have a busy life. I can't wake up and be sore for days. I'm also older. It takes longer for me to recover, so I'm really concerned. So guess what? The first workout I took her through was very slow. It was very technical. There was a lot of communication. I realized in that moment she had a big personality. So I made sure to get to know her. I laughed with her. I joked with her. I asked her about her life. I asked her about her husband. I asked her about the previous training session. I asked her if she felt comfortable what we were doing. And through all of that, she made a commitment with us versus the other trainer. So what did we do different, the two trainers? We both worked her out. The difference is I had a series of questions. I had concern for her as a person. She was not just a list of squats and health history and things like that, right? It was, okay, what's going on with this person? What's up with them? What do they need? What do they not need? What do they want? What do they not want? What should I say? What should I not say? What do they like? What do they not like? By asking deeper questions, I got her to feel comfortable with me, and she made a commitment to me. And so and the reason why I always talk about this consultation, the consultation is to figure out how you can help them, why they need help, where they don't need help, their personality, what are they concerned about? What do they feel they want? What do they feel they need? What do they feel are limitations? What do they feel they're afraid of? Right? All of these things, you guys should be taking notes because I talk fast when I'm on the podcast, but every little thing that I'm saying here is very powerful, right? I just rattle it off. I say limitations, concerns, needs, right? But you need to take heed and say, hey, okay, what did he say? He said fears. I got to figure that out. Write that down. That's very important, right? So I talk fast. I've got just 40 minutes to get a message to you guys every time I sit down, but you need to understand, man, okay, I do need to have this in my consultation. So I'm just looking through my notes here, right? So that's what I mean by a consultation. I mean sitting down and asking them powerful questions. Because when you ask powerful questions, many things are going to happen. Okay, number one, they're going to begin to trust you. And why do they trust you? Because they think that you're trying to give them a proper solution, right? So when you ask somebody questions about their health, about them, about their needs, about their wants, about their injuries, about their sleep, about their diet, what this person begins to realize is, and this is really the bigger thing here. So now we're getting into the meat of what's going on, right? right? Now we're talking about why just telling them stuff doesn't work. When I'm asking these questions, and when you guys are preparing questions that you want to ask your clients, and I'm going to give you some example questions here in a little bit, but when you're thinking about what to ask, right? Because when you're talking to somebody, questions should naturally come up. It can't just be a list of questions. You should have your baseline questions, but you need to know that you need follow-up questions because that's the only way they know you're listening. So what begins to happen in their mind when you ask questions and when you listen for the answer and when you ask follow-up questions? What begins to happen in their mind? They begin to realize that they don't know what to do, that they don't have the right answers, that you're asking them about things that they haven't even considered, right? This is very powerful. This is how you get people to understand that they need a coach. So when they're answering and they go, oh well, my breakfast is kind of inconsistent, and on the weekends I do have pizza, and I don't drink water. It's like, well, how much water should I drink? Okay, well, we're gonna have to work on that. And how long have you been working out? Oh, well, I know I never work out. When you get them to answer those questions that you're asking, what starts to happen, and they start to realize, shit, my answers, I don't know, man. I'm hurt. Right. So if you ask them a question about injuries, about surgeries, and they go, yeah, actually, when I work out, my ankle hurts a little bit. Now, as a coach, you have one more area in which you can be of service to them. So this is the point of that first meeting. The point of the first meeting, to summarize what all this is about, whether you do a consultation, a free workout, a trial workout, whatever you call it, the point of this is to figure out how you can help them. That's it. That's it. And if you can't figure that out, that's why people don't sign up, right? They walk away saying, well, I don't think this person can help me. You probably don't even realize how you can help them because you're only focused on squats, lunges, push-ups, burpees, right? But when you realize, okay, where can I actually help them? What are the categories in which I can help this individual? When you think about how you can help them, why they need help, where they need help, and you get them to realize where they need help. The only way you could do this is through conversation, right? And that's why the assessment is different. The assessment is more figuring out how you can help them physically. Right now, we're figuring out how to help them in the grand scheme of things. So what you start to figure out during this conversation and what you need to be paying attention to as the coach is making a list of all the different areas in which you see that they're going to need help, right? And now you're not telling them that they need it, but you're asking questions simply to figure out how you can help them. This is going to give you a lot of tools, a lot of ammunition at the end when it's time to wrap up this deal, to be done with today's meeting, right? Now, whether they're going to have multiple free ones, a discount, right? Maybe you have a point of sale discount for like 5 sessions, 10 sessions, whatever. Maybe you put them on a plan that day. Maybe they come back for an assessment if you run out of time. Whatever happens, what you're trying to do is have ammunition. Every issue that they have not been able to resolve, this is where a trainer can help them. So I'm going to give you examples. If they don't drink enough water, that's an area where the trainer can hold them accountable and give them tools to help them drink more water. Maybe you can have a half-gallon bottle of water. You can say, you know what, I'm going to gift this to you because I think that's where we need to start. First, your first homework when we start training is going to be to drink a half a gallon of water a day, right? You're going to see the difference that makes. Oh, I don't know if I can do it. Well, if you want to achieve your goal, eventually you have to do it, but I'm going to be there to support you. And now, boom, I have one tool that I can bring up and say, this is where I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you with your water intake. Maybe they don't know what to eat. Maybe they have a sweet tooth and they need to wean their way off of sugar. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I have a plan for you, okay, where I'm going to help you slow and steady through exercise and through diet, right? We're not going to do it from one day to the next, but if we start working together, I'm going to start helping you with alternatives to the things that you're eating, right? Not everything, but we're going to see that these little things make a difference. And so now we have the sugar closed, right? You said that you've been wanting to achieve this goal for 10 years during our conversation. and it just hasn't happened yet. I think what you need is just the accountability and the support that a trainer is going to give you. And I think if we sign up on this 6-month plan, that's what it's going to take for you to see the results. You said you wanted to lose weight. You said you wanted to play with your kids. You said you wanted to get off of medication, right? All these things that you want. By making a commitment, that's how we're going to do it. I really think that working together, we're going to get there. So you see how I have so many things to say now, so many areas to help this person because I had a great first conversation, because I had great questions that led to answers that I needed. Okay. So the big question that I need you guys to be thinking about as you plan out your new first meeting. Number one, you should, right? And you kind of asked it in the question, is this a list of questions? Yes. I would suggest that all of you guys make a list of questions ahead of time in subjects and areas that you want to make sure that you get to know about them. Okay. How do you create this list? You need to sit down and think, what are all the things that I would need to know about someone in order to help them? I would need to know what? How much they sleep, why they don't sleep enough. Is it even possible for them to sleep, right? A powerful salesperson, a powerful trainer that really gets to build a career has the ability to ask 3 or 4 questions in every subject. Okay. So that's my challenge to you guys now, because I can't give you, I guess I could give you a general list and maybe I'll work on that, but I need you guys to learn to think about your business for yourself, right? So this is what I'm going to ask you to do. Have a list, give yourself the challenge of having at least 10 questions that you already know you're going to ask them. And have these questions, maybe even have a sub question where you ask why or how or when or why not, right? Think in those terms. So you're obviously going to start with the goal. What is your goal? But the second question you should have under that, so I'm going to give you a bit of a rundown right off the top of my head, is why is that important to you? Why is that the goal, right? If they say 10 pounds, you can say, well, is there a reason why 5 pounds isn't the goal, or 15, right? You can go up or down and go, is 5 pounds not even something, or is that something you already achieved? Why not 5? Why not 15? Why 10? And then they might say, well, this is when I felt the best in my life, 10 years ago, I weighed this much. I felt great. So now you're having a conversation. Okay. Another question you can ask them is, up until now, what do you feel it has been your biggest roadblock with your fitness? And let them talk. What has been the roadblock, right? So roadblocks, because you want to get to know how they see the world. Okay. How long have you been trying to achieve this goal? Is this a new goal or is this an old goal? You personally, tell me about your food intake. Where do you think is your biggest struggle? Okay. Next question. Take me through your day. What do you normally eat throughout an entire day? From breakfast to lunch to dinner to snacks? Tell me everything. Let's write it down. Okay, great. Do you have any injuries, surgeries, or aches or pains or anything that has developed? Yeah, my back gets tight. It's no big deal. Okay. Do you sit a lot for work? Do you stand a lot for work? I sit, I stand, whatever. Okay. How long has it been since your back's been feeling tight? Boom. Do you feel like it gets worse or better when you exercise? It feels better. It feels worse. Okay, great. Um, let's go back. Tell me a little bit about, your routine right now. So you said you've been working out. Um, how many times a week do you get to the gym? And do you do all your workouts in the gym, or do you do some on your own outside? Do you go for walks? How do you feel about that? Then they explain the routine. Okay, when you go in, do you do strength training? And how would you define your strength training? How does your routine look like when you? Oh, they might say I don't strength train at all. That's another issue that we have. They may say I only do upper body. That's another issue that we have. They may say I only do 15 reps. That's another issue that we have. And if they don't say it, you can ask, how many repetitions do you do? How many sets do you do? How sore do you get? What do you eat after your workout? So again, you guys, I'm just kind of trying to give you an example so you can hear what this conversation should be sounding like. And so what's happening right now, right? What's happening is all I'm doing is collecting information, because 2 things are going to happen here. One, they are going to realize that they need your help. And 2, you're going to have all the ammunition and the information that you need in order to have this conversation at the end. And now, today is not the topic, maybe I'll just do a separate assessment topic here since they go hand in hand. But the assessment, you guys, is strictly physical, right? So what I'm doing now when I assess someone, because these are two different things, is I'm going to take them through certain motions, movement patterns. Now, this one, maybe we'll do a separate podcast about this, because it's a slippery slope here, right? Because what they had a conversation about might not match with what you need to do during the assessment. So you might need to, assess and work out and assess and work out, or you might have to explain to them why you're doing the assessment. But again, what I was trying to get at with today's point is you'll know how to speak during the assessment based on what the issues that they have, and you'll know what to emphasize in the assessment if you do one based on the conversation and the issues that they have, right? So if they said, "Yeah, my back feels tight the more that I work out," now it makes sense that I can go, you know what? You said, because again, you guys, it's all about their concerns and their issues and you verbalizing and also doing the things that make sense to them. So if they, during that conversation that you had, if they mention their back, when you do an assessment, you can say why these might help with that lower back, the issue that you're seeing. And what's happening is they're building trust. They're starting to understand what they need, and they're going to want more of what you have because you have answers to their problems, right? You are the gym and fitness professional. They are not. So that's what I mean when I say consultation. Every time I say consultation, that's all I mean. It's that first meeting and everything that encompasses that first meeting. Okay. Now, we personally, right? So I'm going to take a step back here, go back and talk about consultation and defined. The reason why I like the definition of consultation is simply because it means by definition that we're consulting, right? I'm giving you information based on the conversation that we're having, right? It means that they are also open to having a dialogue and asking questions to me about the gym and things like that. So it's a dialogue, right? They need to express their concerns. I need to have questions. I need to let them ask questions and answer their questions. That's all this consultation is an exchange of communication. But what we need to understand from today's episode is this conversation is about ultimately what their problems are, whether they know they have a problem or not, right? Because a lot of people think, oh, my problem is that I need to lose 10 pounds. But you as the coach need to realize, well, that's the big problem. But what are all the little problems in the way of that? The problem is you can't run because your ankle is tight. The problem is that even when we fix your ankle, you're not drinking enough water. The problem is even when you get you to drink enough water, you're not sleeping enough to recover. The problem is that on the weekend, you're going to drink beer all weekend and eat pizza. And you're not, and then the problem is not just that, but you're not working out hard enough and recovering enough during the week to make up for all the pizza and the beer that you have. And the problem is that you don't have the discipline to show up to the gym consistently enough. And the problem is that you quit every 2 months, every time you start a routine or whatever. So now you see that even though their problem is, I want to lose 20 pounds, the real problem is all these micro issues that they have, and that's what your conversation is about. What are all these micro issues that a coach can help you with? That a mentor, that a trainer, that a guide, that a friend can help you with. And I'm going to be there because I collected all that information. Now you know I'm your guy, I'm your gal. I'm the one that can help you through this. And now the exercise is just secondary, right? Now it's an important part because they're here to exercise, but your exercises are going to be based on the conversation that you had. Even if you have the exact same routine you were going to do anyway, at least they now understand why you're taking them through this routine, why you're doing 12 reps, why you're starting with the lower back mobility stuff, right? Now they understand why, because you had a conversation. If not, they're going to say at the end of this, and this is what happens to a lot of you guys, at the end, these people go, oh, okay, well, that was a good workout. Maybe I'll just do this on my own a few times. And now what, right? Because there is not enough connection and dialogue and conversation and connection and solutions to the problems and problems exposed, right? So that's what the consultation's about. It's about ultimately, if you guys can remember this, how can I solve as many problems for this person as possible when it comes to their fitness and their health and their body? And what do I need to know? What do I need to know to help this person? What is in it for them? What do they need to know? What are they missing? What are they here for? What is at stake here, right? Learning to ask questions that matter to that individual And this is true for a gym membership, for buying a car, for buying a house, right? What is it that we want, right? When somebody buys a house, they don't want a building, they want a home. They want status, they want comfort, they want security, they want an investment. They want many things that is not the box, right? The box can be put in LA, it can be put in New York, it can be put in Texas. The box itself, though it's important to have the box, we're buying the size of the box, the structure of the box, the paint on the box, the colors of the box, the design of the box, right? But a lot of us fall into selling the box. We're going to exercise and sweat, but that's just the box. How do we exercise? Why do we exercise? Why do we do these moves? Why do we avoid these moves? Why do we do it this hard? Why do we pull back? Why do we replace that movement? The features of the fitness have to be tailor-made to the individual that you're working with for them to see the value that you're providing. Because you got to remember, when you're selling training, it's different. That's why this conversation, you might be thinking, oh, Sam, man, you're really giving me a lot. I don't think that's all necessary. I'm telling you it is, because you're selling a premium product. You're selling a one-on-one coaching session, a one-on-one program. And so you better have a deeper understanding of your client for them to feel like they should make the investment. If you don't know them, if they don't know the solution to their problems, if you don't know how you're going to help them, and you take them through a workout, that workout in their mind is the same as any other workout they could have done. So the dialogue and the specifications and the solutions and the problems that we solve for, that's what makes them connect and say, you are my coach. You're not just a fitness instructor. You are my mentor. You are my coach. You are my guide in this situation and through this journey. And the only way to get them to understand that is to have an important dialogue in the beginning where they really feel like you're solving for their issues. So when I say that, that's what I mean. And how does it tie all together? Now you know what to say, right? Now you know how to go through the issues because we talked about them and because they told you what their issues are. So just now, just to close the episode here with, do you just tell them why they should hire you as a trainer? No. What you do is you tell them why they should hire you as a trainer based on the issues that they presented that are personal to them. So now, yes, you want to tell them why they should buy? Just say back to them what it is that they said. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Now let's say we're at the end of it. And this isn't a perfect presentation, but I'm running out of time here. Sean's about to get back and he needs the space. Now I'm just going to go ahead and just say, hey, these are the 5 things that I think are the most important. Do you agree, or is there anything else? Sometimes they might even add another one. You know what? I think I need a trainer for this reason. If they do that, it's a done deal. Just say, hey, I think we should start. This is the plan. And at that point, it's their decision to make. But what you did through this conversation is increase the odds that they see the value in it. And that's the most important thing, right? So for me, that's what a consultation is questions I ask, information that I gather, problems that I'm solving for, and the opportunity for them to also share and ask questions and ask about their concerns and ask about anything they want to ask about so that there is congruency in the understanding of what we're trying to do together. And if you can do that, even people that may have not thought they were going to get a coach might now realize, wow, this is what coaching is. I wasn't even thinking about my sleep. Is that really what's going on? I wasn't even thinking about the weekends and what I do. Is that what's going on? Oh, is that what's going on with my back? Oh, is that what's going on with my nutrition? Oh, is that it? I'm just not consistent. I didn't realize I always quit, don't I? You're right. I do quit, man. I didn't realize that. But now that you asked me, you're right. I start at the beginning of the year. By the end, I quit. I need to stick to it. Absolutely, you do. And I'm here to help. And now that conversation leads to a better session and more awareness of the value, but you have to really care about this person and have a strong first meeting. And so hopefully that helps you guys kind of define what I mean with this consultation. It's these questions, these searching for solutions and then presenting them back to them in a way that makes sense for them to see the value in the training. Now you have to be honest. If you don't have, and this is why having more tools is important, right? The more education you have, the more ways you can help people, the more experience you have, the more ways you can help with people. But to whatever degree you can, these questions are also going to make you a better trainer long-term as well. So I got to wrap it up. You guys follow me on Instagram, Personal Trainer Hustle. It's linked in the bio of the episode today. And also go to personaltrainerhustle.com. You guys can purchase a personal training branded uniform so you guys can wear that out, maybe start some conversations with people at the grocery store, at the park, whatever you want to do. But also, you can send in your questions at personaltrainerhustle.com so we can make an episode like today. So make sure you guys send in any question, anything that pops in your mind, anything that comes up in the future. Maybe some of you guys already sent questions a long time ago, but you have a new issue now. Go ahead and send in your questions. That's what the podcast's all about. So personaltrainerhustle.com, everything's there. And follow me and send me a message on Instagram at personal trainer hustle. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.